What's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. Um, Coming to you um with hopefully fingers crossed quick video, but I'm sitting here at my craft table working on a craft and I'm talking in my lower register because it is 1:52 a.m. and I don't want to wake anybody up. But I'm sitting here in my craft room working on something and watching YouTube videos, and I come across a video by one of my favorite YouTubers, um, Mike B. And it says, "Where have I been?" And it's so funny because I had just said to myself um, last week, wonder where Mike B is. I haven't gotten any notifications. His videos um weren't showing up. I couldn't pull them up, and I would find videos that he was in with other people, but I couldn't find him. And I thought, gosh, I hope they haven't deleted his channel or something dumb like that. I know that that happens quite a bit. So, but just like people, that um, when they run across your mind, my mom always says, when people run across your mind, just say a word of prayer for them and, keep moving. So that's what I did. I just hoped and prayed everything was all right with him and everything was all right with his channel. And just trust that I'd see him again, at some point on YouTube. I like his videos. He does good videos. He's one of the few brothers that do Game of Thrones, watch Game of Thrones, and does Game of Thrones videos. And I like him. Anyway, so he does this video that says where I've been, and he talks about how he was feeling kind of tired. And I think I can kind of gather from his video, he wasn't necessarily talking about a physical tiredness so much as, kind of like a mental exhaustion, maybe even a little burnout. He wasn't doing as many videos. He wasn't um, answering his comments and stuff. And I made comments a couple of times on his videos, and he's always responded. So I know that that was something that he kind of took pride in keeping up with. Um, and so he was just talking about, gosh, I needed to just take a break. And this mental fatigue evidently ran right up against the presidential election. And we all know what happened with the presidential election. Um, and how, he was with a friend and he was at a bar, and, there were people in there in the bar that, had their own opinions and ideas about the election and everything. And he didn't understand that. And then he took to social media, and there was so much hate and so much venom on social media. It just put him in a particular headspace where he just was angry, just upset, you know? And it kind of seemed like a little bit in his tone and the way he was explaining his emotions, like he was feeling a little hopeless, you know? And let me say this, hopelessness comes in a lot of forms. When I say hopeless, a lot of times people think of it as a weakness, but there's a lot of layers to feeling hopeless and feelings of hopelessness. So that's just what I read into it. I'm prepared to be wrong. Anyway, um, and he just, you know, came to this breaking point where he decided he was just going to delete everything, delete all his social media accounts. Thank goodness he wasn't able to delete YouTube. He was actually able to, kind of put it on hold or deactivate it, where he kept his videos. His channel just wasn't active. So thank God, that he was able to keep his channel because I I'm sure he has a ton of videos out there and a ton of followers, and I certainly would have missed him, and I'm sure countless other people would have too. My whole point in doing this response video, impromptu, uh, with the driest face ever. Okay, I'm hella dry. Was not planning on making a video, but watching his video just really, really touched me, man. One, because I know exactly what he was saying. You know what I mean? Like I completely relate to what the dude was saying about just being angry and just feeling like, you know, what's going on with people, what's going on with humanity, what's going on with the world today. Anyway, and I was just so moved because you don't oftentimes you don't oftentimes see uh males, African American males, um that are able to articulate their feelings um in such a passionate way, uh without anger or without being drunk as hell. So uh, I just commend him for that. I really commend him for that because I feel like, um, one, I could relate, and two, I feel like in a way that video, although it was just maybe for him a video that said, "This is where I've been," to me, that video was like a testimony to a lot of people out there who feeling a certain type of way about the climate and the state of our world today, okay, and how it makes them feel. Now, I did a quick video the day of the elections about how I felt, and I took a stand at that point that I was going to operate in love. I wasn't going to change who I am. I'm not going to change my MO of who I am. I wasn't going to let this election outcome put me in this place where I wasn't going to be humane and compassionate and thoughtful. And I also talked about how I was going to lay off social media during this time period, and I still have. I will look out on my Instagram, but I haven't really done a lot of tweeting or anything because I wanted all this conversation about what was going on and just the volume of everyone's emotions and feelings about what was going on. I needed that to turn down a little bit. And I talked about why that is, because I'm a person that takes things personally. Um, Not people's comments about me or anything. I don't take that kind of stuff personally, oddly enough. But I take people's hatreds against other people personally. And it just puts me in this really depressive state. So I already knew I couldn't watch or I couldn't look at any social media after the election. Anyway, um, and he kind of touches on that. So I could really, really relate to that. Um, but it wasn't until he told a story about how he went to the store and he hadn't gone to work and he was just feeling some type of way. And all of this stuff, all of these feelings, all of these emotions kind of culminated right around the anniversary of his father's death. So, all of his nerve endings are like right on the surface. And then you add other people's hate and disrespect, not maybe necessarily towards him, but if he's a compassionate person, hearing this rhetoric being spewed to other people and from people probably just was the icing on the cake, I think. Anyway, um, he goes to the store and he sees this gentleman, a Caucasian gentleman, who was in one of those scooters that you get at the store, and he was reaching for something on the top shelf and couldn't reach it. And Mike goes over and helps him. Um, I don't know. It was, for me, it was just like confirmation hearing this story from him about his situation was like confirmation to me because I just decided, number one, I wasn't going to be anything other than what I am and the same loving person I always am. But it was difficult. It was really hard. And I just forced myself. I forced myself to show everybody as much love and appreciation. Like I overdid it. And I didn't overdo it because I wanted them to like me. I overdid it because that's how I want to train my spirit to be. I want treating people with love and compassion and kindness to be my lifestyle. So that's why I kind of force myself to overdo it and just really, really get out there because I tend to isolate um, when I'm not happy, when I'm feeling like, what's the point, in going on and dealing with people, period. Anyway, so hearing that story was like confirmation to me that, there's a ton of people out there who aren't hateful and they come in all races, creeds, sizes, genders, lifestyles. And there are a ton of people out there that just aren't sure. They aren't sure if you're kind, um, if you're going to see their kindness, if you're going to recognize their kindness. Do you hate me? Do you look at me as a white devil? Uh, do you look at me as a terrorist? And when you show people compassion and humanity, um, it breaks those barriers down. And that's why I think we must forge ahead and just keep living this life the best way we know how. And that is to just continue being humane, continue being compassionate, continue being kind, continue to laugh and show each other um, a good time. Um, so that's all I wanted to say about it. I wanted to tell Mike B, if you ever see this video, I want to tell you that I appreciate you sharing your story. And I know that, maybe you feel like I'll just tell everybody where I was and, then go back on to doing my videos. Well, I want you to know that I appreciate you sharing your story. It meant a lot to me. It was confirmation for me, not only about how I was feeling, but the approach that I took was the right approach. Um, I love the fact that you mentioned your grandma. uh, and I grew up in a household where we couldn't tell each other to shut up. We couldn't call each other a lie. Um, we couldn't holler and yell and scream at each other. We couldn't do any of that stuff. So I could relate to all of that. It was a good video, Mike. I appreciate you coming in and sharing that side of yourself and being vulnerable and being honest and articulating why you had to take a minute for yourself. Um, I personally commit that if you ever go on hiatus like this again, I'll check on you, brother. I'll send you an email. I'll make sure you're all right. And if you never respond, that's cool. I just want you to know that somebody's thinking about you, okay? Um, and to all my subscribers, my little small cluster of subscribers, um, I want to encourage you guys to continue to live your best life. Don't let the climate of this world dictate your temperature or your altitude or the measure of kindness that you choose to show other humans. Continue to go forward and look for ways that you can uplift somebody else. Because in doing so, like Mike B, you will end up uplifting you. When you love somebody else, when you treat them with kindness, you are treating yourself with kindness. You're uplifting your own spirit. So until next time, honeybees, I'll holla.